Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I'm Amy Sikarskie, and today I'll be sharing a message with you from the Spirit Speaks collection. Hi, this is Amy, and I'm here to share a message with you under this category or grouping that I call Spirit Speaks. And these are downloads of messages that I've received personally for myself and the collective. And this past weekend, I received so many messages. I was like, I really want to share these. So if you're not following me on Instagram at Amy Sikarskie or the Spirit and Soul Healing podcast, then you might have missed a couple of these Spirit Speaks messages. And if you would like to follow me, you'll be able to find more as we go along, where they might come out a little bit sooner than on the podcast. So the message that came through was so strong and so beautiful. And this message is that you are never alone. We are supported. And when we talk about support, we're supported by our team in spirit. This can be your own soul light, God, spirit guides, ascended masters. It could be your family, your spiritual family. And the thing that I want to stress a lot and just like really, really want to put a lot of emphasis on is that when we're in a low point or we're bogged down with heavy energies, or there's maybe a lot of chaos and confusion around, it's true that we can sometimes feel disconnected or separate or apart, but we're really not. It's not like they're not watching us or that we're not being loved on and having that positive intentions around. So this is why we often work with meditation, but sometimes life can get super busy, right? So you might receive messages in the daydream moments and in the sleep state. And there's a lot of different ways that the messages can come in. But the particular way and what I want to share right now is about timelines and series of events. So our soul already knows the future, and our guides and God already knows the future. Clairvoyance can see the future. The future looks like movies when I see it. It's packets of information and data, energetic information that is about what is to come. And we can look far out or close up in time. So I like to think about it like a computer program. It's all there. And when you open it, you can see it and it plays like a movie. So there are a lot of different paths as well. You can skip into different chapters, or you can say, stop, pause, hold on. We're going to make a pivot here. We're going to make a decision and go another way. So you might feel the love, the support and guidance from your guides in heavy moments and in happy moments. And we get this awareness, this intuitive knowing that, hey, something's coming down the pipeline, or there's something on the path up ahead. And many times we can feel into that ahead of time. And as we are aware of it, we feel into it, we work with it. It can help us when that time comes, that it's not as intense or alarming or traumatic or shocking. We have a heads up. And often when we make the decision now, and I'm going to talk about that, like how do we make the decisions? But often when we make the decision now, it can also erase and transmute that timeline, alchemize it away. So if you have a feeling that there's something disruptive or maybe stressful, or like, I'm going to say the word ominous, because ominous to me comes through when it's like, oh, there's heavy energies that are interactions with others that I feel like I'm going to be working with. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that maybe people in my life aren't sharing with me up front. Like you can feel that when something's off, we can feel it. So you can go into an energetic space of a meditation. I'm hearing my guides are talking. They're so awesome. They're saying these words: spiritual truth and abundance. So you go into your spiritual truth and abundant frequency. And if you're not familiar with that, you access it through the joy state. So go into things that make you feel happy. Go into things that feel aligned. And meditation is a way where you can access the information and linearize it a bit more. But what I want to get at is when you're in a joy state and alignment and you've activated your truth, which is pure light, abundance, which is like a burst of energy where there's no lack and there's no disconnection, then you have this abundant energetic signature that you are emanating and attracting to you. So, trying to break it all down, these are kind of like high level truths. But how does this support us? So, you feel that, you feel the light of who you are. You don't have to know it, you don't have to know the ins and outs, the names, the dates, the places of what's going to come, but you can feel it. And sometimes you will be made aware of it. So, you sit with it. And I process it ahead of time. And I say, well, what is this teaching me? What are my roles? What are my rights and responsibilities? So that I make sure I'm not overstepping and getting into other people's karmic timeline. And, it's like, what is my role in this? And God and soul and my guides, please show me, help me to feel what is needed of me and what is appropriate of me. And then I'll sit with love, and I send energy of love to that space, compassion and love. And sometimes I'll sprinkle in that joy to help, when things are heavy, we can lighten it with laughter. But I also sometimes will feel that there's something coming up in the future that calls to me to have a boundary, a very firm boundary. And those are my standards, my moral ethics, beliefs, and internal guidelines of what I will accept into my life and what I will not. Like, what will I interact with? And I have that I carry. So I'm sharing all of this because there's been, we all have things going on in life, and some of it, especially if you're in the line of work that I'm in, or you're a healer in a different sort of a way, you're a parent, you're a leader, you're working with others, we sometimes feel this responsibility to hold information in a light, to understand things that are happening so we can assist others energetically and with information. So content, but it's the way that we hold space, and we literally are holding this light within and around us. So I was having a few messages come through recently, and some of them are energies that come in quick and very succinct, and they're immediate in the now moment. And some of it was energy to hold and information to hold that was for the broad collective for long periods of time. But what was unique and what really hit me this weekend was that I had been made aware of certain energetic interactions, aspects of my path that I'm being called to shine a light on, spiritual teachings and truths that I'll be sharing more as the weeks come. And also kind of like, why is this needed? And what's going on in the collective and what's going on behind the scenes? And seeing where some that I know are struggling with this, right? And so when it comes to my awareness, as it did in the physical, it made me smile because I had an encounter, an interaction this weekend that was exactly what my guides had been showing and telling me, all the information I've been intuiting for many months, confirmed. And this was information that I wasn't privy to in the physical world. And it was confirmed. And it was a very interesting way that it was confirmed. But in that confirmation, even, they brought me step by step to seeing things. And when this happened, I just felt all this love around me. And they were like, this is why we've been sharing with you what we're asking you to talk about. You've been feeling it for some time now. And the fascinating part is I've already started getting the content together to share with everybody. And then they show me the need that have been building. And this is something to support everyone, but it also supports myself. And with that is where I found the love of the co-creation. And so the message, what I'm really trying to drive home, is that we always are having opportunities to receive information. And when we talk about channeling or intuiting and automatic writing and journaling the information down, that's exactly it. It can come through in a dream, and I would encourage you to record your dreams, either vocally on an audio, or you can type it on your phone or write it in a journal. This is how spirit speaks. Sometimes you will feel called to pull out your oracle cards and you can feel there's a message. You can feel there's something in the air trying to get through. So you pull out your oracle cards and lay them out, and there's the message. Or maybe you have the specific question. But what I'm specifically talking about today is when we don't have a question and spirit is knocking or tapping, or we get that vibration that, hey, something's, here that wants to be heard or wants to be birthed. There's a need. There's a need, and you have the ability, and you have the wherewithal, you have the experiences to share about this topic, and you can hear us. Like, that's the thing. You can hear us. So if you keep getting promptings or information and energy, feel into that, flow into that. It starts first with feeling it, holding the vibration, letting the energy come around you, just breathing and being in that space, and then letting the information be made known to you. And it might be that day, that hour, the next week, the next month. We don't always know. And I'm going to tell you that I'm glad I didn't know this particular piece of information, because I don't think I would have been ready for it at that time. But I am now, and I was, and I recognized when I got that piece of information, how had I not healed around this in my personal life, I wouldn't have been able to observe it from a healed space, like a neutral place, seeing it from another perspective without emotionally feeling hurt or sad or some kind of energy, right? So that's one thing. When we say to look at information from neutral space, it's like without judgment. It's like I'm looking at it from all different perspectives, and recognizing also that my human self was harmed by something that was related to it in the past. And it could be this life or another life, or it could be a loved one was harmed, or we had an encounter with it. And recognizing that, okay, I don't feel that energetic zing or punch in the gut or tightening of myself. I can sit with this information now in my pure light, expanded, grounded, knowing my truth, feeling in integrity. And when I say truth, it's not just like what we think and believe and feel and how we are. My guides always talk about truth, and I see it as a pure light shining through us. That is truth. Your purest soul light energy is truth. So feeling your purest soul light energy. And I have been looking at things and getting messages to help me like really heal and strengthen myself. And if you've been following me and the podcast, there's been a lot of past life stuff come up where it was persecution, tons of betrayal, many lifetimes coming up where I was physically killed for the work that I do in this life. And I never even knew about that until a couple of years ago, or maybe like 18 months ago. My journey up until this point was based on my gifts and my skills and working with others without fear. And then recently they're showing me, not because of fear, but it's time that I healed and let go of the bondage energy, the traumatic energy from those other lives, so that I can speak more clearly and more freely. And it's so interesting because I never felt consciously that I was holding back. Like, I just didn't know. I don't know. I thought I was speaking. But now what's so interesting is everything just pours through me. And in the past, if I did have a tiny bit of apprehension, even though I still spoke, that apprehension is gone. And the apprehension was because I had been killed so many times for speaking my voice and my truth, and for being a channel in other lives. So it's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. And thank you for letting me process everything with you. I'm hoping that maybe something here rings true for you or can support you. I just like really felt called to share my personal story because, oh my gosh, the past few months have been next level, like in the most beautiful way of feeling the depths of everything and recognizing how I've strengthened my energetic field to support others. And then having this confirmation from my guides over the weekend, it's just like the series of events. So, flowing back to the beginning, we have a path and we have choice points and we have opportunities, and we're supported along the way. God loves us. We're supported. Our soul is here. And if you're listening, it's like, know that we found each other for a reason and you have a greater calling than maybe you're even aware of. And if I could go back 10 years ago or 20 or childhood, I feel like I felt within me this bigness, like there was a bigness for this life, but I literally did not know what that was. And in my upbringing, it had nothing to do with the work that I do now. So it's so fascinating. So when you feel the bigness, if you feel the light, if you feel the strength, if you feel that calling, but you don't quite know what it is, that's okay. Keep feeling it because that's how you're going to attract it to you. And we're all working together here. And I'm going to just straight up say and honor all of you who are doing the things that aren't quite seen in the physical world as it's happening. Like the effects will be felt and they'll produce tangible results. I'm talking about grid keepers, those working with the grids of the earth. I'm talking about, they're calling them timeline shifters, where you're going to find that you get called into sticky situations. And by the energy that you're holding, you're alchemizing a potential timeline. You're alchemizing the frequency, the programming, the influence of that timeline in the lives of others. And so grid keepers, and what did they call it? I think they called it timeline holders. I've never heard of that term. So this all is new info channeling again. But they're saying there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And in the 80s or 90s, when was it? I'm not sure. But when the terminology of light worker came out, that's a big, beautiful topic. It's a big, beautiful and broad description of the work that we're doing. But there are many light workers who are doing very intricate, they're saying delicate details with this plan. And your spiritual mastery is shining through, is being felt. So if you work with the crystal kingdom, if you feel called to Lemuria, that's coming through strong. The dragons are here. The dragons are coming through strong. There's energies that have been dormant and quiet, waiting and waiting to be heard and felt and seen and recognized and honored. And we're ready. So if you're here listening, you're ready. It's all coming online, is what I'm hearing, at even a more palpable, strong, intense way. Take a minute and feel the energy if you can. It's just like pouring through right now. And the guides want to remind you of their name, guides. They're here to help you like a roadmap, to help you like a counselor, like a spiritual support, and friends, like a grandmother or a grandfather, a best friend, to give you their perspectives, to give you a heads up of what's coming, and to share with you that you've got this. You are here for a reason, and you had a path and a plan played out. So if you don't understand it, that's okay. Just feel with it. One step at a time, it's going to be known. It's going to unfold and make itself known to you. And they're saying things are in flux and they can move along the way. So don't doubt yourself. If you got intuition and then it ended up being something kind of slightly off of what you would have hoped or what you would have liked, we just pivot. And that's the part of life on earth. The dichotomy of life on earth is that there's so many interjections and bouncing timelines. Are saying it's energy of others bouncing off of each other. And then when you sync up and you find the ones that you're aligned with, the projects and the people and the opportunities, that's when the alchemy happens, or the synergy happens, and the magic happens. Um, so they would just want to remind you that you already have the mission plan, like you already have it. They're there as like a co-pilot to help you, an assistant to help you, and we are never overtaken or given, like they don't live our life for us. We're the captain. And so they really want you to remember that, and they really want it to be heard. Okay. They really want it to be heard that I'm always present and aware of what's coming through me, and they never take over my body. And if you have a question, let me know. If you have a question of, Amy, was that your opinion, or how do you feel about this? Or is that coming from the guides? Just ask, because I am channeling information from a higher space, and a lot of information and intel comes through that I understand. And some of it is new to me. So I'll share it, but that doesn't mean I've experienced it yet. And so they just wanted to clear the airways, they're saying, because around channeling, there's a lot of misconceptions. Oh, they're coming in hot, you guys. They're saying there's a lot of false narratives, there's a lot of projections, and there's a lot of fear. And that they stand side by side with God, as we are a part of God. They are a part of God. We are all children of God, and there is no separation at all. So it's very important. Then they say, what do we talk about? This is the Council of Light and my guides. And there's a lot of archangels and ascended masters here. And they're saying, what comes through you? You know, you test the information. If you're discerning and you want to tune in, you test the information, and how do you feel? And if you have something that's unsettling and you feel you're giving your power over, please don't project that into others. So really talking about looking at our own self. And they're talking about their topics. What does the Council of Light talk about? Sovereignty, unity, health, God, truth, mankind. They're saying kinship and friendship and family, integrity, boundaries. And they have strong boundaries with me, and it is never where I'm being taken over. So it's really important information that they wanted to bring through. I'm now feeling the energy kind of like step back. They got it out. So that's really, really good. I wasn't expecting this at all. But you see, that's my human self, and that's my spiritual self. That's the part that I'm honored to do, is to let the information come through as it needs to come through, and to share with you what is mine and what's channeled. And I agree with everything they're saying, absolutely. But the power behind it, the oomph and the energy that came through was from my team. And they're saying that behind the scenes in the airways, there's misinformation being spread, and they're kind of saying, hey, look at the information and the misinformation that's being spread across the airwaves in the physical reality, in the physical world, with like what's going on here. So it happens in spirit state too. So flowing back to the reason I popped on, let me recap what I wrote down in my little notes yesterday. Was that I want to talk to you about how much you are loved. Ooh, can I feel it? When you are challenged and you have a strong connection with your soul and God and love, and you are in integrity, that is your spiritual foundation of peace and purity, so that you can stand your ground and feel the strength so you can support yourself and others. And you are loved, and love is the thread that ties everything together. Not separation, not lack, not fear. It's love. And you're guided and supported, and your team in spirit is here gently guiding you along the way. And that's what they've done for me. They've gently guided me, and they'll give me the winks and the reminders and the thoughts and the emotions. And even people will share with me through conversations, right? Or a song will play on the radio or in my head. So they're gently reminding us. And it's just a confirmation that we are never alone, and to always trust our instincts. if we get that feeling, that intuition and that instincts, that we're being supported. So I'm going to just interject my little part here. If you feel like life is a little busy and chaotic, I would invite you to cleanse your energy of the things that don't belong to you, like the thoughts, the emotions, maybe the energy that's in the program of others or projections. Just let it go through meditation and energy work and intention. There's many ways to do that. And if you're looking for support in your energetic hygiene, then we have Soulwise LA. That is a beautiful monthly membership where we talk about all of this. And we're on to month 3 or 4 by the time you're going to be listening, probably month 3. And every month we speak about a new spiritual tenant. And we begin with hygiene, and we begin with self-care practices. So, and more. So you can check it out at soulwisela.com, where we open the doors periodically for certain points of time. And I'm going to release this, I've just decided, before our next opening. So our doors open August 6th. And if you're interested in joining, we have the bonus this month for the 8/8 Lionsgate, which, oh my gosh, incredible activation for abundance and health and sovereignty and love, everything they were sharing. So I'll put the link below. But thank you so much for letting me come on. I really just felt called to pop in impromptu. I'm going to get this up and release it ASAP. So thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you. And if you enjoy the Spirit and Soul Healing podcast, please share with a friend. Give me a star, the 5 stars or the thumbs up, whatever platform you're on. And I would love if you are on one that lets you leave a review. I would just absolutely love that. Thank you. If you take a screenshot of your review, you can send it to me. I'll put the email below. And then I have a meditation for you. It's the chakra healing and clearing meditation I can send your way. So thank you so much. I have oodles of content and information. So if you're interested, scroll through the feed. I have over 80 something episodes now. And I'm looking forward to sharing more. As Spirit speaks, you'll be hearing more messages coming through. So I want to wish you a beautiful day and a wonderful week and a fantastic month. I'll see you guys again on the next episode.